All right, we're back with another worst to best this week. This week we're doing 10,000 gecs by 100 gecs. This was voted for in my Discord server. And today I have a special guest with me. This is another member of my Discord server. I have with me Alex, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so I've been a good fan of Quirkay for a bit, ever since I watched his Fantano video. And he's probably the one reason why I actually listened to Speeding Bullet to Heaven.
That is not... All right. I'm glad I've been a great influence on so many people.
Yeah. But, you know, music, if there's one thing that I'm always passionate or boastful about, is always just been music. It's either that or I stream on Twitch or I review music or I make music. Today
I have Alex with me. We're going over our 10,000 gecs rankings. And I'm going to just say this right away. I realized making this list, I love this album to death. Do not get me wrong, but it's been a long time since I visited the entire album. It's probably been since last year. And so I'm writing my list thinking like, yep, this is my favorite. I listen to these. And then I'm getting to the bottom and I'm like, okay, I clearly, like, my list changed significantly while I was writing it. So
yeah,
you might have me beat. I still think, you know, I low diffed Al in our Smile video, but you might have me beat on this one. We'll see what the fans think.
Like I said, as tradition per always, to not piss people off, just put all songs at number one.
There we go. If you put all the songs at number one, I have no chance of winning this.
I mean, we could put 10,000 gecs to the side. We can do Speeding Bullet to Heaven right now.
No, that's okay. That'll be another day. All right, we're going to stick with an album I like.
Right.
I don't know if you want to go first or if you want me to go first.
I can go first. We're starting with the worst, right?
Yeah, we're starting at number 10.
All right, so my number 10 is $1 million.
Ooh, okay.
$1 million. $1 million. $1 million.
I think that's a fair placement. You're not gonna like me for this one. I already know. At number 10, I have Frog on the Floor.
Frog on the floor, where did it come from?
I have that one at the bottom, unfortunately. Let's start with $1 million. What are your thoughts on that song?
I have it in my notes, that it just says just no.
Oh, so you don't enjoy it?
Let me get that to the side of the way. I like 10,000 gecs as a whole.
Okay.
There's no beating around the bush here. It's just one of those songs where I'm not one to always listen to it constantly compared to any other song on the album. It's weirdly gimmicky with its pacing and its text-to-speech $1 million type of thing, especially with the TikTok text-to-speech. That's like my biggest problem with the song. But I mean, every now and then maybe I would listen to it. I'm pretty sure re-listening this album for the worst to best, I listened to it after how many years? And when it comes to any other song on the album, this kind of beats the bottom of the barrel.
Okay, yeah, it is a bit of a novelty song. Like, you listen to it because it's a bit goofy and it's fun, but I mean,
you can't say that. You put Frog on the Floor on the bottom.
Let me get into Frog on the Floor. Which I do really like, by the way. I remember, so the first time I listened to this album, you know, gecs is always up for subverting your expectations. And so I'm waiting for you know, a Billy Knows Jamie type breakdown or subversion or switch. And it was just like a really chilled, fun, stupid song, which I enjoyed that. And I do think the writing of the song is actually really clever, especially on the tail end. With Laura's verse. But at the same time, in terms of how it's produced, I don't think it has as much replay value as all the other songs. Like, all the other songs have much more exciting and eccentric production styles that Frog on the Floor almost just falls to the wayside by the style it is. Now, I know you have that song much higher, but yeah, that's just those are my thoughts on that one.
Which is fair.
At number 9, I have the most wanted person in the United States.
The number one most wanted person in the United States.
What? Oh, okay, wait. Okay, let me hear yours.
I got my tooth removed.
Okay. I guess I'll start with my thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know you had this. I'm gonna guess you have this one much higher based on the reaction.
You'll see.
Okay. I think the concept of the song is hilarious. Okay, it's one of the funniest songs on the album. It's really fun to listen to. The vocal delivery is charming as well. It almost feels like it doesn't fully start. Like it starts driving and it has this fun vibe to it, but once again, it never really takes off or explodes or goes anywhere different. It's very stagnant, which compared to all the other songs that are so all over the place and wacky, it just doesn't stand out to me as much. But again, I do think it's a hilarious song. I still visit it from time to time just because it is a fun song.
I'll probably hold my response to that when I get there.
Okay, perfect.
So for me, I got my tooth removed. Again, on my notes, I put in frog on the floor if it was unlistenable.
Oh,
That's my response for that. It doesn't hit to me as much. It's probably like most others.
Okay.
Especially for that intro being like sentimental, and then it just kind of drops into like this goofy sort of song.
Right, but that's what's so awesome about it. That's what I mean. It subverts your expectations.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to most songs, it kind of doesn't land it as much as I thought it would.
Okay.
Compared to like $1 Million, I could still listen to that.
Okay. So it's not literally unlistenable.
Yeah.
Okay. That was very strong wordage. I can see where you're coming from with I Got My Tooth Removed, especially like the intro does drag just a little bit.
So my number 8, you'll probably hate me for this.
Oh boy.
Depending. Doritos and Fritos.
Okay. So far, your list is like, I disagree, obviously. I don't think we've said the same song yet, but it's I don't have many problems with it yet. So my number 8, I have $1 million. I don't think I can put it any higher. Like it's gotta stop its run.
If it's not your top 3, I'm just like, all right, you're mastering my bingo sheet over here.
Okay.
Doritos and Fritos, I don't mind it again, but I'd say my most favorite part is possibly the chorus.
The chorus is awesome.
Laura.
Yeah.
But everything else kind of just like falls under. I don't mind the production most of the time. I think it's just how Dylan kind of provides in certain verses. Like it's like anything else but the chorus. I'm not much of a fan of.
Okay. See, I don't know. I love Dylan's verse on that song. I think it's awesome. I mean, $1 million. Like I said, I couldn't put it any higher. As much as it's like pure insanity, and if I'm looking for like an adrenaline rush, I can throw this song on, and it's also, it can get a pretty good reaction. Like if I'm feeling chaotic, maybe I'll throw it on the aux in like a car or something. I just think it's
me and the homies bumping the $1 million in the car.
Exactly. That's what exactly. I think it's really well produced, even if it is, again, a bit of a novelty. Like you're only really listening to this if you want something super chaotic and energetic. But I mean, it's kind of similar to Gek on 1,000 Gecs in that way.
You know what's funny? I was gonna mention that because I was like,
yeah.
Would it be weird for me to say I prefer Gek more than $1 million?
That's a good question.
There's a certain charm to Gek, which kind of feels hypocritical of me to say, considering both those songs pretty much cut from the same cloth.
Right.
But I don't know, just something about Gek that just makes it like a novelty to listen to.
It is,
but it's not like I would say it still probably reigns in the same list, but you know.
Yeah, I think Gek is more sporadic, so I could see enjoying that one more. Number 7, I Got My Tooth Removed.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too crazy yet. I mean, other than I have a feeling Your Frog on the Floor is still not number 7.
No, it's
Okay.
Billy Knows Jamie.
Okay. So I got my tooth removed. I have pretty similar thoughts, but I think the subversive elements work to the song's advantage more. The impact of that slow ballad start, you're like, okay, this is super over dramatic and melodramatic. They're just talking about, getting a tooth removed. And then it comes in, you got like a ska punk breakdown. It's hilarious. And I think the way the song naturally builds, even though it does have those stops in momentum, I think where it ends up building to by the end, it's a really fun song.
Fair enough. For me, Billy Knows Jamie, again, it's still not a bad song.
Mhm.
I think, for the most part, I think the second part of the whole song kind of just falls under for me.
Okay.
It kind of falls under for me to not re-listen to it every now and then. Just mostly that second part, and that's about it. I don't mind the first part, but I think the second part kind of just removes any sort of interest for me after that.
Okay, so you prefer the more Limp Bizkit style part of the song before the crazy visceral breakdown part.
Should I be offended by that? 'Cause
No,
I've
no,
never
no, no,
listened to
no,
Limp
no, no, no.
Bizkit.
No, I was just like the styles are very different. So because of how distinct the two are, I could see enjoying one part a lot more than the other.
I see that. All right, so my number 6, the most wanted person in the United States.
My number 6 is Doritos and Fritos.
Okay,
Bro,
so we're hitting the repeat
I'm telling you,
offenders.
I think our top 5s are pretty similar.
Exactly. I guess it's just dependent on where we place certain songs and whatnot.
Right, of course.
So for me, obviously, it's a goofy ass song.
Of
Like, I
course.
think for when Brad reacted to it on his stream, he was like, someone said it's a Quaddale Dingle type beat.
That's funny.
But I get it's a novelty, kind of like with a lot of these songs, and I guess with how 100 gecs represents. But when it comes to goofy ass songs, this kind of hits the most.
Right. It does. It has this low key goofy energy to it, as opposed to like it's much more subtle than a lot of the other songs.
They made it work.
For sure.
They make it something where you can like bump into the bar if it pops up.
So my number 6, Doritos and Fritos. I agreed with, for the most part, with what you're saying. Like Laura's part doesn't stand out as much, but I do think Dylan's verse mentioning like the mosquitoes, the Danny DeVito, like that rhyme scheme was fun. The guitar work on the song I think is genuinely impressive. The hook is super catchy. Like it'll be stuck in your head all day after you listen to it.
Should we bring in the aspect of like certain songs with music videos?
Ooh, if you think music videos buff certain songs, then you can feel free to mention that. But yeah, I just value based on the music.
Yeah, I would say for the most one person's music video, I would deem as like somewhat creepy but also funny.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way they did the makeup on both Dylan and Laura.
Yeah,
Doritos and Fritos, obviously that's like funny, considering it's just like them flying around in their wizard outfits.
that music video is so funny.
Yeah, I think that's like the one redeeming quality of Doritos and Fritos. They make it look funny in a music video.
We got number 5 now. We're
on
top
top
top 5 territory.
Smoking on top 5.
Yes. At number 5, I have Billy Knows Jamie.
So for me, it's Dumbest Girl Alive.
Ooh.
I'm the dumbest girl alive. I took 10 Advils today. I got bruises on my thighs. Plus I gave a
Okay. You know what? You start with Dumbest Girl Alive. I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
So granted, great intro.
Yes.
Baller production. Love how much it brings a lot of vibes to it, and that sort of sicko mode-esque beat drop on the second part.
Yeah.
With Laura. Only problem. Whenever I have it in my playlist, the THX intro always gets me.
Okay. So
And that's it.
the intro in shuffle nerfs the song for you a little bit.
Exactly.
I can see that. You know what? I was like, where's the problem? You're mentioning all the good things about the song. I could see that. Yeah, I had Billy Knows Jamie at number 5. Forget most visceral in the gecs discography. I think it's one of the most visceral songs I've ever heard, with just how that second half comes in. Like, I thought it was mind-blowing the first time I listened to it. The song has like this threatening aura in the first half, and it's a very shocking song. It has that shock value that a lot of gecs songs shoot for, and I think it nails that. And even listening to it several times, like almost 2 years after this album came out, it's still like mind-blowing and shocking to me when that second half comes in.
Number 4 for me, Hollywood Baby.
Oh, Hollywood Baby 4. At 4, I have Me, Me, Me.
You'll never really know, no, anything about me.
Okay, that's fair. So, Hollywood Baby, obviously banger track. It's, in my opinion, probably the best rock
Yes.
song out there when it comes to a lot of rock music. It seems pretty, I'd say, simple in its themes, but
Yeah.
it kind of still hits hard. Like, they managed to hit that rock aesthetic
Right.
with the catchy chorus, catchy hook, and everything in between.
Yeah, it's like a totally normal, great rock song. Like, they just threw a random great rock song on their album.
Exactly.
Which is almost just as shocking as all the other switch ups they do.
Which works in the album's favor.
For
like,
sure.
It sounds part of the album.
So yeah, I had Me, 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 which I think, now I feel bad, okay? Because you clearly put that one higher than me. I think it's slept on. I think this song is genuinely pretty great. The writing is more clear cut. It has like a heaviness to it. And the production is still really fun. It's a great way to close out the album. Like, it ends it on a really catchy high note. And yeah, I like the closure the song provides, even though it came out so much earlier than the album did. Like, the rollout for, I don't know if that maybe influenced me to place it lower, but I love the song.
I'll speak when we get there. I'll probably explain my side about that song.
Sure. Number 3. I have Dumbest Girl Alive.
Fair enough. It can be a top 3 towards most people's. Me, 757.
Okay. Did you put Me, Me, Me or Frog on the Floor 1? We'll get there in a second. We'll get there in a second. Yep.
The song is really banger. Like, it has that real hyperpop aesthetic in the first part. And the second part's kind of what probably drives me to listen to the song at all times.
Yeah.
The second part where they have that laser shot from Star Wars, that's a beat drop, and whatever they're talking about on there.
Interior gas station McDonald's, baby. That's
Exactly.
what's up.
And then also, highlight of the century for lyrics. We don't
Of
smoke
course.
trees. We smoke tree-sized dicks.
Yeah. I had Dumbest Girl Alive at 3. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the sicko mode, like production moments. The THX sound effect is like a super bold choice to start your album with. And I'm gonna guess you didn't listen to Vultures 2 because it was completely terrible. So Vultures 2 also starts with the THX sound, and it sounds so much worse. And so I want to open up this conversation to the comments. Do we think gecs is a more influential artist than Kanye West? All right, like you know, Kanye's copied. Yeah, he might have copied the gecs. Okay, I think it's a lot of fun. The lyrics are stupid. They match the title, obviously, and it's a great opener for like displaying to the listener what the album is all about, what they're gonna get with the project.
I guess that's also a good thing to mention. Despite, being on a playlist for Dumbest Girl Alive, it can be a head scratcher, but I'd say for album-wise, it's a perfect intro.
It's a perfect intro, yeah.
I can at least give that credit.
Yeah. Number 2. At number 2, I have 757.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
For me, me.
Okay. Again, I have very similar thoughts. The hyperpop aesthetic is nailed pretty well. It calls back to some of their, some of their older work. And I think it's one of the most upbeat bangers, probably the most upbeat banger on the entire album. It's short and sweet. Like you saying, getting to that second half is fantastic, but you don't even have to wait that long. Like the first half and second half, they're so short and sweet.
It's like perfect length.
Exactly. Yeah. And the humor in Laura's writing really sells the song. It's just so much fun. Yeah. I love this. Like, it's so easy to loop and replay this one. And so I think I value it a lot higher.
Especially for me, because I'm like one of the few people who probably like listens to one song on repeat like 20 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, for me.
Yeah.
The good reason I put this up here most to others, obviously the vibes and production.
Yeah.
But I guess it's also what hits more. It's like the fact that they managed to put some lyrical aspect to me for the song.
Yes, it's actually just a good song lyrically.
I guess it's just something about it. I think it's just talking about oneself for the most part. And I guess with how Laura Les kind of like has that broad like approach to talking about herself in her part. Mm-hmm. And then that finisher in the last part.
Yes.
It kind of hits different compared to like most songs, which does make it for a fitting outro to the entire album, I'd say.
Oh yeah, you just reminded me. I completely forgot to mention on Me. The vocal delivery in that last chorus is like, it's killer. It's so passionate.
Yeah, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd say I like the Dylan's part in the first part.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way his vocals are, it kind of like hits different for me.
So that means, people should be able to deduce what we have. At number 1, I have Hollywood Baby. At number 1, you have...
This is my trump card. Frog on the floor, number 1, baby!
Frog. All right.
And yes, I do mean it.
I respect it because I do like the song, but I'd like to hear what you love so much about it that it sits at the top on the throne.
Bro, have you ever thought to just get in a group of bros together, slap that in the ox, and wish you were frogs? Like, holy shit! Like one of these days, you've done that?
Oh yeah, of course, bro. I've thrown frog on the floor on the ox. People are like, "What is wrong with you? Is this a real song?"
Exactly. Best song. I wrote it down in my notes. Best song in it.
It's This will get the dance floor going. At number
consideration at the final part of the song kind of like also hits different. Oh,
for sure. Yeah, again, it's a much more lyrically passionate moment.
When Laura just goes ribbit, I kind of felt that there.
I thought you were being serious. All right.
Are you making fun of me, man?
No. Frog
is there something wrong with me vibing to
ribbit? Yeah,
Come on, when she said it like that, it kind of put a tear to my eye. I don't know what you mean.
At number 1, I had Hollywood Baby, which I think what you were describing with how almost normal it is, I think buffs it so much more. It still has the subversion that the rest of the songs have, but in a different way. I think it is one of their most well-polished in terms of production. Like, just compare this song's production to a lot of 1,000 gecs, which I adore that album, but Hollywood Baby shows that a lot of the production chops from the gecs have improved a lot. And I think the guitar riffs are incredibly memorable. It's a really fun song. And yeah, I think it's genuinely well written. It proves to the gecs haters that they could write completely normal stuff if they wanted to.
And it's not like they have to be sort of meaningful or have To Pimp a Butterfly standards of like deep lyrics. Like, at the end of the day, 10,000 gecs is not a deep album. It's just an album to have fun with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I would say if Brad describes it as the best, the worst album of all time. Of that year.
That's fair.
I think that's what he described as in the video, but it was just like, it's just a fun album. I don't know why you get mad if like people having fun with it.
Exactly. That's me and Alex's worst to best. I'd love to hear who you guys agreed with more. I think Alex is much close. Obviously Frog on the Floor was a bit of a big difference, but outside of that, our lists were pretty similar. And I'd love to see all of your lists in the comments. Please feel free to leave those below, as well as other albums you'd like to see me do a worst to best on. Alex, please, I know you did it in the intro, but please feel free to shout out stuff once again.
I stream on Twitch every now and then when I'm off. I review music on Album of the Year, and I would appreciate it if people like take a gander at some of my songs on Spotify.
Yeah, if you guys want a specific recommendation, One of These Days I'll Try by Alex, fantastic little ambient track. All right, please, I can vouch for that one. Okay,
Stop
so
it, you're gonna make me cry.
so yeah, please feel free to check out all of his stuff. But I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Click to my left or right, subscribe, do all that. Check the description, my links, Alex's links. All right, peace, goodbye.